Welcome to our channel. Today we will be discussing understanding narcissism and its traits. Narcissism is a word many are not aware of today or do not fully understand yet, probably due to ignorance or lack of knowledge about it. This has resulted in a lot of people finding themselves in this situation without realizing it, suffering and feeling confused about what they are going through, still not being able to classify their pain, resulting to mental stress or even joining the train to become narcissists themselves. If you are here, it may be that you want to learn and understand the topic, or probably you are victim-seeking clarity. A promise is at the end of this video you will be convinced and be able to classify your pain. Also, we believe when you stick with us in all our videos, you will learn ways to avoid or manage these narcissistic individuals and remain sane again. Let's dive right in. Narcissism is a pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving that centers heavily on oneself, especially on one's own importance, image, achievements, needs, or entitlement. The term is often used casually, but in psychology it has a more specific meaning and exists on a spectrum. While the definition of narcissism may seem to relate to having healthy self-esteem, narcissism is quite different from a healthy self-esteem. Everyone has some degree of self-interest and desire for recognition. Healthy self-esteem involves feeling confident in your abilities, valuing yourself without needing constant validation, being able to appreciate others' strengths, accepting both successes and failures. Narcissism goes beyond healthy self-confidence. It involves an exaggerated focus on oneself, often accompanied by a strong need for admiration and difficulty genuinely considering other people's feelings, needs, or perspectives. Key characteristics of narcissism. Common traits associated with narcissism include 1. Grandiosity. A person may see themselves as exceptionally important, talented, intelligent, or deserving of special treatment. Examples: believing rules should not apply to them, overestimating their abilities, expecting recognition beyond what they have earned, associating only with other high-status people, ignoring the feelings and boundaries of other people. Grandiosity is usually a mask used to cover up their internal emptiness, insecurities, and maintain an idealized fantasy version of themselves. This facade helps the narcissistic individual avoid feelings of shame or vulnerability. 2. Need for admiration. Many narcissistic individuals rely heavily on praise and attention to maintain their self-image. They may seek compliments frequently, become upset when not recognized, constantly compare themselves to others. 3. Sense of entitlement. They may believe they deserve privileges, special treatment, or automatic compliance from others. Examples: expecting others to prioritize their needs, becoming angry when denied requests, feeling entitled to rewards without corresponding effort. 4. Lack of empathy. One of the most significant features is difficulty understanding or valuing the emotional experiences of others. This does not necessarily mean they cannot recognize emotions, rather they may struggle to genuinely care about those emotions when their own interests are involved. 5. Exploitative behavior. Some narcissistic individuals use relationships primarily for personal gain, status, admiration, or advantage. 95% of their relationships are usually based on what benefits they are meant to gain, not minding whoever or whatever might get affected negatively through their selfish decision. 6. Sensitivity to criticism. Despite appearing confident, many narcissistic people react strongly to criticism. Possible reactions include anger, defensiveness, blame-shifting, humiliation, or withdrawal, the hidden side of narcissism. A common misconception is that narcissists are always obviously arrogant. They most times appear friendly, charming, understanding, but in a cunning way. All these are mostly their first approach, especially to a new victim who may not really know them in the first instance. They are highly manipulative. Narcissism often masks deep insecurity. The grand self-image may function as a defense against feelings of inadequacy, shame, rejection, or vulnerability. This helps explain why criticism can feel especially threatening to them. Different forms of narcissism. Psychologists often distinguish between different presentations: grandiose narcissism, often characterized by confidence, dominance, attention-seeking, overt arrogance. These individuals may appear charismatic and self-assured. Vulnerable narcissism, often characterized by hypersensitivity, defensiveness, feelings of victimization, hidden grandiosity. These individuals may not appear arrogant outwardly but still maintain beliefs about their specialness and react strongly to perceived disrespect. Narcissism versus narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. It is important not to confuse narcissistic traits with a personality disorder. Many people display narcissistic behaviors occasionally, wanting recognition, being self-centered during stress, seeking validation. A diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder involves a long-term, pervasive pattern that significantly affects relationships, work, and daily functioning. Diagnosis requires assessment by a qualified mental health professional. How narcissism affects relationships. Relationships with highly narcissistic individuals often follow recurring patterns. In the early stage, they may appear charming, confident, attentive, impressive, but the later stage. Problems may emerge such as lack of emotional reciprocity, manipulation, excessive criticism, need for control, difficulty accepting responsibility. People closer to them, such as partners, friends, family members, or co-workers, may feel unheard, used, invalidated, emotionally exhausted, common defense mechanisms. To protect their self-image, narcissistic individuals may blame others, avoid responsibility by attributing problems to someone else, devalue others, reduce another person's worth to maintain a sense of superiority, deny faults, refuse to acknowledge mistakes or weaknesses, seek constant validation, depend on external approval to stabilize self-esteem. What causes narcissism? There is no single cause. Researchers believe it develops through a combination of factors: genetic influences, temperament, childhood experiences, family dynamics, social and cultural influences. Both excessive praise and excessive criticism during development have been linked to narcissistic traits in some individuals. Can narcissistic people change? Change is possible, but it can be difficult because narcissism often includes limited self-awareness and resistance to acknowledging problems. Improvement usually requires honest self-reflection, motivation to change, psychotherapy, learning empathy, and emotional regulation. The likelihood of change varies greatly from person to person. In a simple summary, narcissism is not merely loving yourself too much. It is a pattern involving an inflated or fragile sense of self, strong need for admiration, sense of entitlement, difficulty with empathy, sensitivity to criticism. Relationship patterns centered around protecting self-image. Healthy self-esteem allows a person to value themselves and others. Narcissism tends to prioritize maintaining one's self-image, often at the expense of genuine mutual connection. A kind note: understanding. Narcissism is not about judging them, but being aware of how they operate and protect yourself. Also, let us hear your experiences in the comment section about these individuals so others can learn. In our next video, we will be elaborating the effects of narcissism to its victims and how to avoid them or manage them. Watch out. Thank you.